Hello and welcome to the June edition of What's Up Stratford. I'm your host, Peter Mirage. Joining me and starting our show is Niki Andre from SAHA. Niki, thanks for joining me today.
Hi, thanks for having me.
What is SAHA?
So, SAHA is the Stratford Affordable Housing Alliance. We are a volunteer-run, um, it's a bunch of activists, residents that's collaborating with organizations and others and other experts who are advocating for affordable housing that is sustainable and that will cater to folks across incomes. So across the various levels of incomes that are struggling to afford homes, from folks that might be bringing in $10,000 a year to folks that are bringing in as a household $100,000 a year, and all of whom are struggling to afford appropriate housing in today's market.
The Stratford Affordable Housing Alliance. What is the difference between affordable housing and attainable housing?
So affordable housing, as defined by our federal government and also at the moment by our city. I know that our official plan is up for review and we are hoping that they stick to this definition. Affordable housing is 30% of a household's income. So it's tied to what the household makes, which makes it a range. Now the province has a little different definition. We can get into that if you want, but that's the definition that we go by when we say affordable housing. Attainable is also a definition that comes down from the province. And the province has defined attainable as not being able to be not affordable. So it means it has to be at least, well, we do have to get into what the province says. So the province says that affordable is up to 80% of average market. Attainable cannot be affordable. Therefore, attainable is, I guess, 81% and up. Attainable housing cannot be a rental by the province's definition. And my understanding is by the province's definition, attainable can't be any sort of like community housing type of housing. So very different definitions. The thing about, I'll just say one thing about the provincial definition of affordable is because it's tied to the markets, it is a moving target. So as people sell properties and they go back on the market, the average market raises, which is, is how we got here, like how we got to people paying $1,800 or more for a one bedroom.
So, Niki, your mandate is affordable, not necessarily attainable, correct?
Correct. Yes. I mean, it's possible that some, like if we are looking at proportionally mixed income affordable housing. So across the scale, I think the United Housing is also kind of thinking along those lines. It helps to make the whole thing viable if there are different income levels paying in, and also if you might have some commercial units, other sort of revenue generating properties involved.
Niki, what is a community land trust?
A community land trust is a piece of property. It can be land on its own, or it can be land with something on it that is held in trust by a community. So it is governed by typically a tripartite board. So it would be 1/3 would be people who occupy it, so live on it or use the space. 1/3 would be the community that it's set in. So in our case, Stratford in general. And the third would be experts, possibly like governmental organizations, possibly people like United Housing, who are somehow involved in the running of it or the creating of it. The reason that SAHA is advocating for a community land trust is because the way that the leases are structured, one, there's community input into how that happens. We govern how we create those leases, but we take the land and it's separated from the things on it. So when it's held in trust by a community, we can continue to keep those prices because we can write that into the lease. We can continue to keep those prices in an affordable range In other instances, for instance, say in community agriculture, we can write into the lease that this will always be used for community agriculture. And a bunch of other things that are community benefits. It just keeps us in control of those long term. And when I say long term, I mean forever. So once you've written that into a lease, then people can own a home on a community land trust. They can pass that home on to their next generation. Someone can own a farm and retire and pass it on. But there are certain parameters set within that to maintain the community accessibility and the affordability to folks that come after.
Well, thank you, Nikki. Thank you for co-founding this and also volunteering as a resident and to make affordable housing a goal and a dream and a reality for people. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. And I can't do it alone. So I hope, every time that someone signs our petition or joins us in advocating, that gets us one step closer to making that a reality here as it is growing across the country as others are following suit or are leading the way is more what I should say.
Thanks, Nikki. Coming up next is Jamie from the BIA.